this is the situation, and so the focus for me now is mainly on just helping you make the best decision. And there's like a whole way that we do it through a because you're a logical person. It's actually a scientific process where it uses maths equations as a you'll probably like that as a teacher as well. Maths equations to help you make the decision in a numerical way rather than in just a feeling way. So the feeling right now is one confirmation that you're doing the right thing, but it's like they say that people make decision based off of emotion and then rationalize with the logic. So here's the logic for you is that on the one side you've got sun and you're thinking potential risk to him, and on the other side you're thinking sun potential risk to him. So um, first of all, what are the risks for your son on either side right now? What's the risk that you're considering?
I know you said that it's not going to cost me anything, but I feel like I can't be sure of that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like it's just your word, and
So
words can be very
so
empty.
so so so
So
so so, so if we consider what could potentially happen there is that so far we've got 100% success rate, but in the future that could go down. That's the risk. The risk is that at some point I forget how to do sales. The guys also lose their desire to want to do it. The whole company shuts down as an agency. Enagic shuts down, and there's no way that you can go ahead and make money with our agency or any other agency. That's the risk that you're considering, which is
I suppose
viable.
so.
So, what would be the risk to your son if all of that happened? What would happen to your son?
Well, I'm assuming I'd be left to pay a £25,000 loan with no gain.
Sure, sure. So, um, how would that affect your son?
Oh, it'll take food off his plate.
Yeah,
He won't get his toys. He won't get his every whim as easy as he gets it now.
yeah.
And I'm not sure how much longer we'll be doing tennis and swimming lessons and
Oh, does he play
all
tennis?
the extra. Well, he's learning. He believes he does,
He believes he does. Yeah,
and that's all that matters.
yeah.
You
he's
got right. Yeah, you got.
he's just started learning. So right now, I want to be able. This is part of the dream. You see, I want to be able to pay for one-on-one coaching instead of the group coaching. Right now, we're
Well,
doing group
I
coaching
tell you,
outside,
I
and I
tell
want
you
to be able
this.
to take him to the club for him to train one-on-one indoors.
I tell you this. I
That's,
tell you
you
this.
see.
I'll throw this into the mix anyway. So my sport that I played when I was younger, I played three sports at national level. One was badminton, my first one till I was about 11. Then I played tennis till I was about 18. I got offered scholarships to go to America as well. When I was 16, people used to pay me a lot of money for coaching, and this was adults that would pay me for coaching them because I was good one to one. And then I also did like basketball national level too. So if your son is wanting some tennis lessons one on one, I can throw that into the mix, part of the deal.
You're on. You're on. I'm saying you're on before you have a chance to change your mind.
So
I actually have two sons who play tennis or who were trying to learn. My a tennis aficionado, but he's 31.
okay,
He's
wow.
31, and he's doing really. Yeah, my twins are 31. I had my children really young. I was only 18. So I've got twins. They're boys, 18. They're
No
31, and
way.
I've got a daughter. She's 27. And then I had a long old gap, and I remarried and had my youngest son, who's only 8. He's about to turn 9. So um, yeah,
You know, Stacey, you know
I
what? You are the epitome of black don't trap. You know that. You
I was gonna say.
epitome. Oh my
I was gonna
goodness.
say.
I was there doing the calculations. 18, she's
they,
got the card, and now
yeah,
31.
I'm
What?
49. So you see, this is why. See, the thing is, I've got to the point where I live, I moved to South London. I was living in East London. I moved to South London because my eldest son was pregnant. Him and his wife were pregnant, and the baby is now 1. And Me and that baby are like this. So my thing is, I don't ever want that child to go through any of what my children have been through.
Mm,
He's not going to know struggle. That's
yeah.
it. That is it. There's no two ways about it. He's not going to know no. Whatever he wants is a yes. That's it. See, my youngest son has experienced
Mm,
that, but I have to work at that. It is not
mm,
easy, especially since I ended up back in England alone with him and his dad being in Ghana, because we met in Ghana, we married in Ghana, had him in Ghana, and then 3 years ago I came back to England for my eldest son's wedding, and the COVID regulations in Ghana changed, so I couldn't go back because I refused to vaccinate. I don't believe in it. And I refused to go. So I refused to vaccinate. I refused to pay for a vaccination card. I heard all of those things that were happening. I was like, I don't want my name attached to any of that poison on any record anywhere. That is not happening. So, um, yeah. So that's another reason why I love the sound of Enagic, because health and wellness is big. I'm also a PT. I never told you that,
really?
James. I'm also a
Yeah, me
PT.
Oh
too.
wow.
Yeah. You wouldn't think so if you look at me now, but I am a PT. I am a qualified PT. Like my sister's a PT. My brother-in-law's a PT. They're both gym managers for the gym group. Um, and things like that. So like health and well, my parents are both nurses. One psychiatric, one's a midwife. They're retired now. Well, so my dad reckons he's retired. He's still working like a dog, and that's another thing. The working like a dog thing till, I mean, he's
Yeah,
70 plus now.
yeah,
I am not going down that road.
yeah, yeah.
I always thought I'd be retiring next year. I'm going to turn 50 in April. I always thought as a 20-year-old that I'd retire at 50. And I can't actually believe I'm knocking on 50's door. Like I've got literally 6 months, and I'm still doing hand to mouth living and working and working and working. Right now, I work 3 jobs. This is
Wow.
ridiculous. This is not a life. I want to live. Like I don't want to do the existence anymore. So this thing is really, really important. If I put my money where my mouth is on this, it's because it's 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 worked. It's worked already. It's not about it's going to work. It's already worked. That's it. I'm not taking no for an answer. That is it. That's where I'm at. I've laid it all on the table now. Mo, Mo and James, you've heard it all. That is it.
We hear it. Yeah, we hear it. And
This is
I
it.
can tell, I can see how important
It's
this is.
very important.
Yeah, I can see. Like, this is why I love working with parents, and it's so funny. I don't know why, but I'm attracting people that have twins. I don't know how I'm doing this.
Oh,
So
really?
Alex, who you saw on the call as well, he has twins
Yeah.
too. And
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
like him making the decision was all about his family, his kids. Um,
Yeah.
I've got another teacher called Nikki who's about to come on, and she was a part of Enagic, so she bought one of the machines. She never opened it because the the business was the main reason for why she went in. She didn't get any results with it because she had to do it all by herself. And now she's going to be coming on board with us as well, and she has twins too. Uh, so
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know how I'm doing this, but like there's so many people coming
You got
twins.
twin energy,
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I want twins myself, so it's like maybe something's happening. Um, I'm getting it some other way, but yeah, um, like I can tell like how important it is for you, and it's not just about you now. It's more about what you can do for your family, because at the moment, with
Yeah.
working 3 jobs and hand to mouth, as you said, there's no way you can support them the way that you want to continuing to do this.
No, no. And and the thing is, I'm just seeing them all repeating the cycles of my dad. My dad my dad was born in Ghana. My parents were both born in Ghana. He came over at 21. He got a job as what they now call a support
Mm-hmm.
worker in
Mm-hmm.
hospital. He got that job in Ghana when he was 21. Came over, work, went straight to work for the NHS, and then became a trained psychiatric nurse, worked his way up the ranks, got to an H grade, which was, I don't even think they use that grading system anymore. Basically, he got to a unit manager of a secure unit, psychiatric secure unit. And then one day he went on holiday to Ghana. He was never sick, never took leave, that kind of thing. Went on holiday to Ghana, came back, and there was a white woman in his office.
Let's replace him.
They just replaced him, just like that. And so he took them to tribunal, won, obviously, and they paid him off. Um, and then he kind of sidestepped into teaching control and restraint, still for the NHS. But they just took his job away from him just like
Yeah.
that. This is somebody who would never even take a day off sick. He would cover shifts as a D grade when he was an H grade and things like that. Do you know what I mean? It's not about working for anybody else, and which is why I'm currently not working for anybody else, and I'm working very hard, self-employed. But when you're one person, you can't generate it. It's just like the lead generation. You can't do it all yourself.
Mm.
And so something's got to change. And I'm just watching my son, my eldest son especially, repeating all of this. And I'm just like, it can't go on like this. This is going to work for me so that then him and his wife can join and it will work for them. And then my grandson will have everything just like I can see it. My sister and her husband, they don't have any children, but they also want to live. All they do, we live together. So like they're doing shift work all the time and they hardly see each other. We all kind of meet for like an hour and a half in the evening. The rest of the time, the house is empty and we're paying a fortune for it. It's just like, you know, I just don't want to live this existence anymore. This was not meant to be my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to change. And so because of that, I feel like I want to believe in this, as well as the fact that I'm hearing what you're saying and I do believe it. But I also second guess myself, like, is it because I really want to believe it
Yeah.
so much that it's looking this way or presenting itself to me that
Yeah.
way? So that's the other risk factor that I have going on in my head.
It's a slight bit of skepticism that you have about your own judgment because of
Yeah,
the position that you're in really wanting it. And one of the things that
yeah,
I learned about skepticism is that it's great to be skeptic. And I read a whole book on skepticism as well by one of the teachers of skepticism, and he was saying that the thing about the skeptic is that as much as you're going to look for all the reasons for why it's like on both sides as to why something might work, why it might not, the first thing that you have to be skeptical about is you as the skeptic, which you're doing, but then your own skepticism too. So sometimes it's like some people are just skeptical for the sake of being skeptical, but there's
yeah,
no real logical reason for why. And it's kind of like what you've got in front of you is all the evidence that you're seeing, which is looking great, and you've also assessed um, the downsides to what we've got going on. Like we're totally transparent about that. People know it. Like the repayments, 30%, the risk, whatever. So you've assessed it on both sides, and now it's just about looking at, well, yeah, like you get to choose to believe that this will work. I think that's the biggest thing that we're seeing is that the decision that you make here will either be because you choose to believe something that is a positive outcome, which is faith, or you choose to believe something which would be the negative outcome, which is the fear. So it's like at the moment right now, like it can come across as though it's a big leap of faith, but you might probably heard about that thing before where person is given an option and it says you've got one building over here, another building over here, and you've got to be able to jump from this one to the next or walk a tightrope from this building to the next. And most people, if you ask them, would you walk this tightrope? They're going to be like, no, of course I'm not going to walk that tightrope because, like, I'm going to fall and die. But if you then had a change of situation, and in this building was now your sons, your twins, your grandson, like you had all of them in this building, and the building was set on fire, and they're screaming for your help, and you're on this side of the building, the only way to save them is to walk the tightrope.
I'm gonna run it.
You see?
Forget walking.
This is it. You'd probably not even use the tightrope. You'd probably leap and just jump.
Oh dear. Oh, all right. What's the next step? Oh,